It's Super Helldive time. Join me as I solo difficulty 10 automatons, full clearing as always. I brought my Railgun, trusty supply pack, and a very, very serious dose of determination. My name is Vassal. It's headshot time. Super Helldive released yesterday, and I'm enjoying the jump in difficulty quite a bit. It's basically just more heavies instead of light infantry, which might be harder in one sense, but easier since you should be getting dropshipped a lot less. Definitely don't be frightened, since it's very doable. Good addition there is to understand that more heavies also means less units overall, so just make sure you're ready for heavily armored units. The Mega Outpost takes me a couple minutes to clear out, so maintaining a high pace will be crucial. I calculate here that I can clear out the side objective north of me, before my backpack comes down. After that, it's pretty much a circle around the map. Just this decision should hint at how valuable time really will be here, which leads me to tip number 1. Don't stand still. Ever. You'll notice throughout this mission how often I run somewhere while something else is loading. This buys me an insane amount of time in the long run, so do your best to look for things to do while you wait. In most runs, you'd be waiting for your backpack, but as you'll see here, you may as well put your stratagems on cooldown in that time. You also don't have to loot the samples now. Since extraction is nearby, you can come back here quite easily. Picked up my railgun and supply pack, ran south towards the heavy outpost, and I got lucky with the radar objective. Probably good if I mention, I believe the supply pack is overpowered, more so than the shield generator pack even, especially since this last patch. Tip number 2. Use stims for the extra stamina. You can stim now without being hurt. You'll notice me basically forever sprinting here, since essentially I have 12 stims on me at all times. That alone should give you an idea of how strong the pack is. You do have to find the balance though, of course. You don't want to be out of stims while you're getting shot or eaten. Just consider the option is what I'm saying. Unless you have a supply pack like me here. Then stim away, Captain. Oh yeah, some difficulty 10 intel. Tip number 3. Be ready for Berserkers. I feel like they swapped out a giant amount of light infantry and brought in a million Berserkers instead. So although the Diligence Counter Sniper is my favorite gun against bots, I am considering swapping to Punisher, since my supply pack and railgun won't always be there, but those Berserkers definitely will. Honestly though, I think that's easier than all the light infantry, since Berserkers can't call in dropships, so you can take your time killing them. They do however like to get in your face though, so ups and downs I suppose. I threw a resupply to the radar objective if you noticed, since I'll be doing this heavy outpost while it loads. That gives me the freedom to use all my resupplies here, so this should be a very doable outpost. Okay, this feels like a great start to this run. Interesting brain fart there for sure. Which leads me to fun fact number 1. Your mind has an autopilot. I called it a brain fart just now. What it actually is your mind's tendency to see a routine it's done before and then just stop thinking altogether. I've hit this heavy outpost a ridiculous amount of times. From this angle, even more so. So my brain said, okay, stratagem time. My brain completely forgot about turret guy though. So if you ever wonder why you missed something obvious, you went into autopilot. I ran back to the radar here, since it's done loading now. So far, I'm making pretty good pace. Probably a good moment to repeat 2 tips from a previous video. Tip number 4. Keep your stratagems on cooldown. Use them often. They save you tons of ammo, and every second that they're ready to go is a second you're wasting firepower. Tip number 5. Stun grenade after you stratagem. If you stun grenade before, then you will probably have to throw a second stun grenade in to make sure the stratagem lands on them. I ran for the generator sub-objective here. The radar objective gave me an optimal route to follow, so always good to adapt to your circumstance. That includes having new intel. Tip number 6 here. Go prone, don't dive. To extinguish fire, most people dive, but diving puts you at risk of stumbling on a pebble, and probably dying in turn. While going prone negates that risk completely. It also wastes less time, so you can go back to shooting them in the face faster. You're welcome. Tip number 7 by the way. Analyze your surroundings. The name of the game against bots will always be cover, cover, cover. I tried taking this pack out quickly, but since I failed, I need to book it straight to a rock, or some form of cover. Or, accept my death basically. Oh, juicy tip number 8 here. Get under dropships. When you can, of course. It's the best position to nuke them from. Watch this.
Attack! Freedom.
I'm cranking out the tips today. Tip number 9. Throw stratagems into the back lines on objectives. Shooting the targets close to you is easier, so by throwing the stratagems into the back, you make it so that either they get decimated if they stay back there, or you get easy shots if they're in the front. Watch me follow my airstrike in. I like this trend. Tip number 10. Resupply on consoles always. Makes them really easy to find, in case you need them later.
Deploying equipment package.
Repeat tip again, I guess. Tip number 11. Ice plants are stun grenades, and bots are idiots. Heard them in there, Helldiver? If you're enjoying the Railgun tips and fun facts, a like and a sub would help me out immensely. Thank you so much for your support.
Say hello to democracy.
Like I said, be ready for Berserkers. Here's some advanced intel for you. The generator needs about a minute to load before it lets you pull the lever, so I decided to run south first, basically running a giant U-turn. That way, I can just pull the generator lever right before I go to the ICBM. That's about as optimal as my routing can get, I think.
Coming in hot. Objective critical stratagem available. Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
Such a shame this bounced. If I could hide the Hellbomb in the corner, that's basically a free tank kill. And probably more. Facile bounces, man.
An eagle never misses. Keep liberty. Eagle 1 rearming.
This dropship forces a reposition. Remember, tactical retreat is much better than unnecessary death. Fun fact number 2, meanwhile. 2-minute tasks rule. If you're a dedicated procrastinator, like most of us, that's probably because you don't know how to play your mind yet. Basically, convert everything into a small task, one you can do in 2 minutes. So when writing in your calendar, work on essay, instead write 1 page for essay. Still too big? Then write 5 sentences for essay. You get the idea, I think. I promise it works. Try it out, I'd say. Have I mentioned I love explosive resistant armor? I know theory crafters disagree with me, but I stand by it. It's S tier against bots. It even lets you survive the railgun exploding when you overcharge it. Try it out if you don't believe me.
Objective critical stratagem available. Hellbomb request approved. Deploying now.
They blew up their own bioprocessors. Good to know that's possible. Guess we're leaving.
Asset destroyed.
I carried some shells into the SEAF artillery. 2 high yields, 2 explosives, and a static field. I then headed to the refuel ICBM sub-objective. Since I mentioned procrastination, here's fun fact number 3. Perfectionists are often procrastinators. The theory is that your mind has a tendency for self-defeat, caused by a negative mental state, like fear of failure, for example, or fear of judgment. So you as a perfectionist would rather not start at all, since maybe it won't be good enough. Procrastination can also be caused by a positive state, known as temptation. Unfortunately though, procrastination is bad for you, regardless of which one it is. It's a self-destructive habit, so make sure you do your best to work on it. Start with the 2-minute tasks I mentioned earlier, for example. I hope that helps you out quite a bit more than you might think. As I always emphasize, if you're unhappy with where and who you are now, Remember, you deserve more than that. Everyone does. So stop wasting time and get on it.
Package.
This is a peaceful objective. After I finish it, I head for the launch code sub-objective, using the blizzard to hide my presence. Although I admit, I randomly shoot a couple bots on the way. It's in my nature, alright? This is definitely a difficulty 10 phenomenon. Very rarely do you find 4 hulks just chilling. I haven't said it, but I guess I should. The Railgun might be my new favorite support weapon against bots. Maybe only when paired with a supply pack, but it's definitely up there. Firstly, look at all the hulks on difficulty 10. Secondly, it takes out gunships with 3 shots to an engine now, so your only problem are tanks and factory striders. Feels fine to me, really. I grab the launch codes here, then move to the heavy outpost. Have you tried Super Helldive yet? Let me know in the comments if you have or haven't, and why, of course, for curiosity's sake. Thank you in advance. Tip number 12. Factory striders are very high priority targets now. Technically, they always were, but just outrunning their miniguns was fine, really. The Escalation of Freedom patch made it so that their cannon now fires 3 times in a row though, so be extra careful when you see one now. Tip number 13. Use the SEAF artillery to destroy jammers. It doesn't get blocked by it, so finding an artillery essentially makes jammers free objectives. As long as you have explosive shells in them, of course.
Enemy tactical asset within range. Automaton facility destroyed. I'm hit! Sweet liberty, the blood!
I'll be implementing more silence in my videos, to let you enjoy the gameplay a bit more, without sensory overload. Hope you enjoy. I've been making fantastic pace so far. 20 minutes in and I'm almost done. That gives me a good amount of time for the Mega Outpost. I do have to stay focused, however. It's very easy to hemorrhage 5 reinforcements.
Be back shortly.
Time for the Mega Outpost. Let's see how we do.
Sending down equipment package.
This run was recorded on patch day, so I have no clue what the best strategy is to approach these Mega Outposts. I'm trying to find a way in where I'm not getting shot from 3 angles. Not the easiest task, you'll notice.
Firing orbital strike. Less than 20 minutes remaining.
Say hello to democracy! Ah!
There we go, some freaking cover. Jeez. Number 14. Use stray Hellbombs. Oftentimes it feels like a waste to use it for only a couple of enemies. But if you don't, more often than not you'll just not use it. So treat them like you would an orbital precision, and less like an orbital laser if you will.
Get some! Get some!
This blizzard couldn't be more perfectly timed if I tried. Should help me get in there more safely.
Democracy's on its way.
Have a taste of democracy!
Got him.
I guess we're taking the front door. Those are bunker lasers, by the way. Those things are terrifying. They have a ridiculous amount of stagger, and they one-shot you if they hit you directly.
Firing orbital strike. Helldiver KIA deploying replacement. Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Point me to the enemy.
Sending down support weapon.
Democracy's on its way.
Sweet liberty, Maya!
Apparently, you don't get a Hellbomb for detector towers in here. I feel like that's an oversight, since it means you have to have an orbital precision, or a 500 kilogram with you for these, or a 380 I guess, or something like that. But still, I'm sure they'll give us a Hellbomb for these at some point. Your last option would be to get a tower cannon to shoot it, but that also means you've just locked yourself in an automaton base with nowhere to run, and a tower cannon trying to nail you. I'm not sure how sound that plan is, but knock yourself out I suppose.
Eagle 1 returning to destroyer for resupply.
Firing orbital strike.
Injury? What injury? Get some! Get some! Ah! I need stims!
Automaton outpost destroyed.
Eagle 1 armed and ready.
Here's a fun question for you. Would you go north or south here? I'll give you 5 seconds to pause the video and think about it. The right answer is south. In my opinion, of course. The reason why is not just because we still need to pull the generator lever, but also because the ICBM has long loading times, which means we can get that outpost up north while we're waiting for it to load. Fun food for thought. Let me know if you agree or not. I might have missed something in my reasoning, of course. Okay, had I known I was gonna get one-shot by a bunker turret, then yes, north was the better option. But hindsight is always 20/20, which leads me to fun fact number 4. Reasoning after the fact is a bad way to pass judgment. See, there's no way you will always have all the facts. That would mean you can predict the future, and none of us can. So when judging someone's behavior, you can't say, "You see this result, you're an idiot for choosing that." Because that implies that they knew it was a bad choice, and did it anyway, which is rarely the case. More often, people think it's a good idea, then they do it, and then they find out it was a bad idea. So what you should do instead is try to place yourself in their position when they were about to make that decision. If you didn't know the result, does the decision make sense then? You'll find that very often, crazily enough, the answer is yes. So even though you know how poorly it ended up, you can empathize with their choice, which in turn lets you help them out quite a bit more, since you get where they're coming from. Very tough habit to practice, but your loved ones will be extremely grateful if you start doing this. So practice your empathy. I pulled the generator lever, and then I ran for the ICBM. Dropping the head here, since I'll be coming back here when running for extraction. Same reason I resupply here.
Deploying equipment package.
One life for Super! Mag's empty! Say hello to democracy!
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
You will never destroy our way of life!
If you're still here, then I'd like to thank you for watching my content and supporting me that way. I'd love to give back. If you're interested in hanging out with myself and like-minded people, be sure to click on my link tree in the description. From there, you can find a code to join the Facile Gaming Discord and all other social media. Okay, back to being quiet so you can enjoy the headshots. We're almost done, to be fair. There's the long ICBM load. Time for the northern outpost. This blizzard lets me run past everything. So very convenient to say the least. I ran there and nuked it, then came back. I'm currently capped on samples, so just grabbing them out of habit really. Tip number 15. Last one. Use peripheral vision for optimal railgun usage. What I mean by that is that you should look at the reticle while charging your railgun, yet pay faint attention to the charge up bar in your peripheral vision. It lights up a clear red, right as you should release the bullet. This way, your aim is as accurate as it can be, and your charging will be as optimal as it can be. This is tough to practice, but the best way I've found to use charge-up guns like this, in any shooter game. Additively, you will automatically get a feel for the timing between starting the charge-up and releasing it, so it gets much easier as you practice.
Throwing grenade!
Another step towards galactic liberation. You may extract.
I ran all the way back to extraction here, with the head of course, as the ICBM sun started shining on me once more. I kinda feel like they fixed extractions by the way. The solo 10s I've done so far all had acceptable spawn rates, so no giant unbeatable swarms so far. Maybe I jinxed it by saying this, but definitely let me know if you've noticed a difference. And probably a good reminder, make sure you focus on the tiny guys on difficulty 10. Because there's so little of them, they're the only ones that can call in dropships, so if you just make sure they're down right away, that also prevents you getting swarmed by all the big guys.
Bag's empty.
ETA T-minus 2 minutes.
Coming in hot.
Get some! Get some!
I'll link some of my videos at the top right here, in case you enjoyed the combination of solo Helldivers 2 gameplay, tips, fun facts, and chill vibe. I enjoy the mentality of just being happy. We can overcomplicate life so much, when honestly, more often than not, it's just a waste of energy. So a lot of my video runs have silly builds, because I find joy in testing how far I can push my skill. Definitely a habit I recommend. I hope you enjoy those too, of course.
Reinforcement budget depleted. Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Democracy has landed.
Getting to the end here. The theme of this video's fun facts was procrastination. Most people think procrastination is just a part of being lazy. Unfortunately, it's quite a bit more complicated. Procrastination is most likely not a scheduling issue. It's an emotion regulation issue. A what now? Loosely translated, you don't procrastinate because you think you have a lot of time left. You procrastinate because you feel, sometimes unconsciously, that you have more pressing issues to attend to, which more often than not will be your deeper feelings, like low self-esteem, anxiety, or insecurity. The frustrating part is that you know the task will still be there when you get back to it. Yet the momentary relief you feel by procrastinating justifies your behavior to you. So I guess the best way to summarize procrastination is, you're not lazy, you're working through emotions, which leads you to delay important life tasks. Unfortunately, this delay leads you to have to deal with more emotions, and so this vicious cycle continues. To break this, be sure to set goals for the future, the long term if you will. Because as long as you focus on the short term, it's very unlikely you're going to break from procrastination. We all have the power to change our lives today, so if you're not happy with yours, start now. My name is Fasil. Be well, and take care.